Welcome to Greg Mortis's Little World of Horror. This is my slash from the stash. It's Sunday, October 12th, and very excited to be back once again. If this is your first time viewing this, each and every Sunday I do a mini movie review, and I call it my slash from the stash. So if this is your first viewing, welcome, and I hope you'll go back and watch all my previous videos and subscribe. Picking up a lot of new subscribers, so that 250 mark's coming up really quick, it looks like. So looks like Greg Mortis is going to have to start finding some stuff that I'll be giving away. So if you don't subscribe to me, definitely do that. And I'll be doing a contest at 250. Don't know what it'll be, what questions or whatever it'll be, but I'll try to make it exciting and see what happens. But anyways, let's go ahead and break right into this thing. If you've seen my Blu-ray DVD update this week, you saw that I picked up this box set, Poor Pretty Eddie and Carnival Magic. There you go. It's a 4-disc set. Both movies came with a Blu-ray DVD combo plus postcard. And if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out, and you can see where I opened up the package. But I didn't get a chance to watch Carnival Magic yet, but I am going to review 1975's Poor Pretty Eddie, and this was directed by two individuals. The first one, I'm going to look over here to the side real briefly here, because this is where I have my notes. But it was directed by Richard Robinson, and I looked him up, and he really wasn't in anything that I really recognized. But the other director is David Worth, and I was looking him up, and actually he had done Bloodsport and a lot of action flicks from back in the day. And he's still directing up to a few, like last year or maybe this year. So he's still kind of, in the mainstream. But very small cast, but a very, very thick cast. And when I say thick, I mean some really big celebrities are in this movie. I love the title. I love the cover art of this flick. I really do. And it is a Blu-ray, as I showed on the Blu-ray DVD update. It is a Blu-ray DVD combo. This is from a distributor called Cultura, and I had never heard of anything about Cultura, so I will get into a little bit about the transfer. But I think what we'll do is I'll read off the back of the box the plot and a little bit of description of what they said about it, and then I'll get into the review. So I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see, because I'm an old man now and I can't see with them on. But it says, brace yourself for one of the 1970s greatest, creepiest cult classics, now available for the first time ever on high-definition Blu-ray. It says it's a surreal psycho thriller that broke all the rules of political correctness and lowbrow filmmaking as it spun the sordid tale of a black singer from the big city, Liz Weatherly, played by Leslie Uggams, who finds herself stranded in a backwoods redneck nightmare that makes Deliverance look like a Disneyland in comparison. Poor Pretty Eddie spent years existing as one of those mythical must-see, if you can find a copy, films. As copies began to make the rounds, and as more movie buffs were able to review it, reports of the movie's content focused as much on the detailed, almost art house approach to many of the scenes as they did on the film's obvious seediness and dark storyline. Intriguing when you consider its directors had demonstrated no aspirations previously or indeed since to produce anything beyond good old-fashioned exploitation fare aimed at the drive-in movie crowd. Not that this movie would have disappointed anyone looking for a down and dirty grindcore film either. And here's kind of where the plot starts. It says, when her car breaks down, Weatherly ends up stuck in a remote southern town that's been left for dead ever since they put in the interstate. She's forced to stay in the dilapidated inn that serves as the bizarro kingdom of Faded. Overweight burlesque star Bertha, played by Shelley Winters. Her much younger boy toy and aspiring Elvis wannabe, Eddie, played by Michael Christian, and a cast of suitably strange townsfolk, including Sheriff Orville, played by Slim Pickens, Keno, played by Ted Cassidy, a.k.a. Lurch from the Addams Family, and one of the great character actors of our time, and Floyd, Dub Taylor, another noted character actor. Over the years, the film also appeared on the drive-in circuit under the titles Black Vengeance and Heartbreak Motel. But whatever you want to call it, it's not a movie you will soon forget. And this Blu-ray here does have 5.1 surround. Movie trailer, digitally restored high definition. Got the postcard, which I did put back in here. Once again, the postcard that you get with it. Also, it has the before and after restoration demo, transfer from original 35mm elements, audio commentary, and trailer. Now, I did watch the before and after restoration, and it's only probably maybe 15-20 seconds, but basically what they did was show the before and then kind of slid and panned over and showed you what it looks like after the transfer of it. I will say the transfer is pretty good. I don't know how real the before was, because the lines, what it was the picture quality wasn't horrible, what they were showing before, but they were having like these green lines going through it, which happens with a lot of film. I don't know if that might have been something they put in there to kind of make it look worse, but they certainly took a lot of that out. There's still some graininess in it. It's still not crystal clear, but with that said, for a 1975 film that's never really seen the light of day to my knowledge, it's a good transfer. The quality of it is pretty darn good, and the audio I was really impressed with as well. So let's jump into the movie itself. As mentioned, the characters are kind of, this movie, let me put it this way, this movie kind of reminds you of Last House on the Left meets Psycho meets maybe I Spit on Your Grave, if that's a way to describe this. This was definitely meant to be an exploited grindhouse drive-in movie. I mean, that's the only way it's best described. I would have loved to have seen this at a drive-in theater. I think it would have had a much grittier, grab you by the balls and hold you feel than it did on TV. But still, it's an entertaining film. It's definitely twisted and weird, and I found myself at moments feeling a little creeped out just because of the content of it. Not that there was really anything grotesque going on. There is a rape scene in this movie, but the rape scene is nowhere like it was in I Spit on Your Grave or even Last House on the Left. There's nothing really showed. There's just the kind of, what's going on, but there's no real nudity or real over-the-top, in-your-face rape scene, which doesn't bother me. I'm glad they didn't do that, but you get the innuation that it's happening. So I could see people saying this is a disturbing film. Would I say what they were talking about in the quote, that it made Deliverance look like a Disneyland in comparison? No way. I mean, to me, Deliverance was way more disturbing than this film. But with that said, this one is still grindhouse, cool. The actors that were popping up, like Slim Pickens, man, I remember Slim from the westerns and different movies, so seeing Slim Pickens, he had a really cool role. Dub Taylor, who ends up playing the justice of the peace in this film, he was really entertaining as well. But Michael Christian, who plays the character of Eddie, man, he stole the show. He was tremendous. He was very believable at being maniacal and crazy and loony, and my God, dude, he was really amazing in this film. And also the character of Keno, who was played by Lurch from Addams Family, man, it was entertaining to see Lurch doing something besides "You Rain." So seeing him in an actual movie, man, was awesome. So I watched this one this morning, and I've got to say, I think I have actually viewed this one somewhere in the past, because as I was watching it, I could remember scenes that were coming up that hadn't happened yet, and sure enough, so I know I've seen this somewhere in my past. I just can't, pinpoint if it was VHS, which I'm sure it was, or DVD or whatever, but still, it is a disturbing film. And the character of Leslie Uggams, who plays Elizabeth Liz Weatherly, the main black entertainer in the film, I thought she was really strong. There's a scene at the very beginning where they're doing she's singing the Star Spangled Banner at a sporting event, and it's a football game, it looked like. Well, I was reading some trivia, and that was actually filmed because she was a singer for real. So it was really her singing. They had filmed it at a football stadium in like 1973 or something, and took that stock footage and put it in film. So that was kind of entertaining. And Shelley Winters, who, you know, a famous actress from, you know, back in the day, her being in here was entertaining. So overall, I mean, I really gotta say I dug this film. I know my daughter, who's 15, watched it, and she was just like, what the, you know, this made no sense, and she's upset about it because she didn't think it was worth anything. But I think to film historians, to individuals who really get into movies and understand filming and the whole aspect of a film, not just to watch a movie as a casual watcher and get, you know, you got your blood, guts, gore, that kind of, but somebody that really sits down and loves movies and movie making, I think you would really enjoy this film. Now, your average viewer is not going to get it. You're going to be confused. You're going to be let down. I can see that. But for me, I actually was really entertained in the film, was really intrigued by where they were going. I thought the direction of the film was really strong. I thought, you know, it's kind of guerrilla filmmaking at 101. Some of the scenes were kind of almost handheld, and there wasn't nothing spectacular done with camera angles or anything like that. But I think the overall feel of it, I thought the director done a great job, and the acting once again was strong. I mean, it's a hard film to watch because of all the darkness and the content of what's going on. It is a hard film to watch, but it's entertaining at the same time. So I would recommend a definite watch of this movie. I wish I had already had a chance to check out Carnival Magic to let you know, because I don't know if they're going to release this as an individual Blu-ray or if it comes only in this 2-pack. I'm not for sure. I mean, this one had, like I'd mentioned on my Blu-ray update, it had a price tag of $19.99 for both these films, which are getting this one and Carnival Magic 2-pack Blu-ray DVD combo with postcards and everything. So I bought it for $10 brand new. They had a sale going, so I would definitely recommend it if you can find it for $10. Now, $20, I can't really say it's worth that because I've never seen Carnival Magic to my knowledge, so I don't know if that's worth it. And for picking up one movie for $20, man, it's kind of hard. But if you can find it for $10 or something, definitely pick up the 2-pack. If you can get this movie by itself on Blu-ray, I recommend that because I did think the transfer of it is very impressive for a 75 film that obviously, had been forgotten and had really never seen a proper transfer. So for that to have the 35mm elements and to be transferred from that, it does look pretty good. And to have Slim Pickens, Shelley Winters, Dub Taylor, Lurch, I mean, my God, man, you got to get it for that alone. But once again, the Blu-ray DVD combo and the postcard inside, I thought Culture done a pretty darn good job. So I know they have the same company, Culture, has released The Terror, which had Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson, very young Jack Nicholson, movie The Terror. That's a public domain film that is on like every release of these 2050 movie horror packs. The Terror is always in there. Well, Culture has supposedly did a Blu-ray transfer of that, and I'll probably pick that one up as well at my movie stop. They have it, so if I may buy that one, and I'll let you know what the transfer looks. But I'm kind of curious about Culture now. What kind of titles they're getting in their collection and everything. So for this, it is, let me pull it up a little bit closer. It is Poor Pretty Eddie. It is a exploited grindhouse drive-in theater style flick that I enjoyed, so I highly recommend. If you can get it cheap for around $10, definitely get it. If not, hold off. I think it'll definitely drop in price. But with that, this is my slash from the stash. It is Sunday, October 12th. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, definitely comment right down here. Let me know what you thought of the review and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and share it. And once again, the 2-pack, there it is. Pretty cool little, all it is just like a slip over. Slides in, but a cool little set. But with that, if you don't subscribe to me, please subscribe. Check out my new videos coming up. The ones I've already got out, but the new ones I got coming out soon, man. I'm definitely going to finish up my horror collection. I've got to do that. I know I've released, I think, 3. Still got a couple more to do. So stay tuned for that. I'll definitely get that kind of recorded and get that ready. So hopefully next week or the week after I'll have that. But until then, check us out at Land of the Creeps podcast. And check us out at Horror Movie Podcast as well, as myself, Kenny Caperton from the Myers House NC, Sean Davis from Land of the Creeps, and of course Dr. Shock. A bunch of us was on Horror Movie Podcast. They're doing a episode every Friday of the month of October, and they did a whole overview of the Halloween franchise. So I'm on 2 of those episodes, so definitely check that out. I'll put a link right down here below to the Horror Movie Podcast so you can check it out. But until next time that I'm on air, this is Gregor Mortis. This is my little world of horror with my Funko Pop, Michael Myers, and I'm signing out till next time. Until then, peace.